A while ago in an art class, a woman from an Illinois art college came to our school, and she gave a presentation in art class. And she showed us some of the stuff a lot of the students at the school made. So, before she showed us one cartoon, she told us that it reminded her of the old Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner cartoons. And so, she put me in the frame of mind thinking, you know what? This is probably going to be good. So then she played it, and it was in CGI 3D animation. Typical. And all I saw was this talking rabbit and a mushroom, I think it was. And an eyeball comes up, and the rabbit is like, you know what, Augie? You, can't exactly do anything. And so the rabbit stabs the eyeball with a cactus. The eyeball gets up and runs away, runs into a tree, and that was it. What the truck was that? You call that a cartoon? Oh, that made me so angry. One, it made absolute no sense. Even though it's a cartoon, it can at least have a story. Two, what? The characters were unlikable and they didn't have any character whatsoever. And three, how dare she compare the Roadrunner cartoons to that piece of junk? So then after I had to sit through other craptastic cartoons, I asked her politely, do you have any 2D animation out of school? And you know what she told me? Yes, we do. But if I were smart, I would take a 3D course. Do you know what that meant? She said only if I was smart, I would take a 3D course. What the heck's that supposed to mean? That dumb people take 2D courses? Which brings me to today's rant. Modern cartoons. I am sick and tired of modern animation. You know, the golden age of animation, in my opinion, started in the 20s and ended in the 80s. But there have been a few exceptions where 90s and 2000s cartoons I have liked. But most of them have been crap. So, what is it about modern cartoons that tick me off so much? One, it feels that animators aren't even trying to be creative anymore. It's like their imagination has died. What happened? It's unbelievable. They're not even trying to try new things anymore. They just copy other people. Where's the imagination? Where's the creativity? Where is everything? Another thing is, they dumbed down modern animation for little kids. Oh my gosh. I'm dead serious. Thanks to modern animation, they turn animation into a child's medium. I rant about them in my miscellaneous rants videos. Basically, they make you feel embarrassed to admit you like cartoons. Because then somebody would say, you like cartoons? Cartoons are for little kids. Which is just sad, which is just plain sad. But they also make cartoons that are for adults, and those cartoons are just as bad. Why? Because they rely on sexual humor, which isn't funny. They also abuse the pop culture references. Oh my gosh, there's a celebrity. I'm going to laugh at it just because they're there. Ha ha ha. No. Just because a celebrity is in a cartoon, a celebrity just pops out of nowhere in a cartoon, that doesn't mean it's funny. I don't go somewhere and see a celebrity in real life and just die of laughter because it's not funny if they're just there. If they did something that parodies something they did in real life, then it's funny. For example, The Simpsons does that all the time. In one episode where Bart he has a broken leg and he's spying on people through a telescope, he comes across a Jimmy Stewart, and then Jimmy Stewart's like, hey, Grace, that little kid looks suspicious. That's funny because it's a reference to Rear Window. Simpsons is an example of an adult show I like because it doesn't abuse its power of being an adult show. It's actually for everybody because it doesn't rely on stinking cussing, and the pop culture references make sense, and it also has its own brand of humor, which I like to call unexpected humor. When you think something is about to happen, something else happens that you don't expect. But anyway, adult cartoons, I just don't like them. There are some I like, South Park, Futurama, The Simpsons, but the rest I just can't stand. Because, you know what I mean, you know why, I just told you. I get made fun of all the time because of the cartoons I watch. Well, I'm just a normal kid at school. Kids come up and ask me, "Hey Ben, what kind of shows do you watch?" I say like, "Oh, you know, Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry, Woody Woodpecker, whatnot." And they're like, "Ha ha, you like little kid shows, ha ha." No. Then I had to explain this. Back then, when cartoons were made, they were made for adults and shown in movie theaters because little kids weren't going to go to the movie theaters with their parents. Those cartoons were made for adults, and they were good cartoons because one, they didn't rely on sex humor, because it's not funny. Actually, they did. They featured things that a kid wouldn't find funny, but an adult would. Like Tex Avery cartoons. A kid wouldn't understand why an adult's staring at Red Hot Riding Hood, but an adult would, and it's funny. Those are the kinds of cartoons that smart people watch. So anyway, I just can't stand modern cartoons. You know what? I ranted about the animation style, like I ranted about CGI in another video, so you know about that. But gosh, modern cartoons also, the modern cartoons that are focused for children, they rely on something else. Fart jokes. Every modern cartoon I watch that's for kids, all I hear, it's nothing but fart jokes and stupid humor. Oh my gosh. That's not funny. Bodily functions are not funny. Why do you make them out to be funny? But, of course, kids are going to find it funny because they're dumbed down for little kids. But all I can say, gosh, modern cartoons. I'm glad I did not grow up on this crap. Thank God I grew up in the 90s. Thank God I was exposed to good cartoons. And I'm just sad that little kids aren't being able to see the classic cartoons I grew up with. It's just sad. It's really sad if you think about it, because they're really missing out. So anyway, I think I talked enough. You get my point about modern cartoons. Just can't stand them. Channels like Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network they're making their modern cartoons just blah. I can't stand them. Disney Channel, for the few cartoons they have, Phineas and Ferb, they know what to do, but even that show is not perfect. It gets a little formulaic once you get used to it. So anyway, that's my rant on modern cartoons. I'm Ben and I'm signing out.